Hallo, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen, ishpata.
Bakhair Agale, Ni Hao, Chune Shumme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimes, Guten Morgen, Ola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifa Hal, Hale Shuma Chatore, Ahlan Wasal, Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracias, Swabia, Bhalli Kereaya, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into PTV World. You're definitely watching World this morning. Dr. The very fantastic, very amazing, very super, very talented, very dedicated, very passionate about her work. She happens to be Miss Shiza Hashmi, and I happen to be Shahzad Ehsan Khan. We hope and pray that everybody out there in 46 different countries is ready to kickstart their day with us. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's raining over here in Islamabad, and I think this is the weather Shiza always asked for in her prayers. Hello, Shiza. How are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you so much for asking. And yes, you're absolutely right. The moment I woke up and I could hear the rain, of course, and then I opened my windows and curtains whatsoever to get ready, and I could see it, I was like, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, first of all. I've been waiting for this for so long, yes. And ever since the winter started, it's been getting drier and colder. Yeah. And I think at this point, each and every single person out there was waiting for it to rain. You know, for probably the dryness to sort of, settle down. Everyone's coming up with bad throats and whatnot.
Yeah.
So while we all are going to enjoy this weather as well, I really hope and pray you all are safe out there. How are you, Shahzad Khan?
Well, I think I'm feeling great. You know, I slept quite a lot over the weekend, and I think this is something which made me feel very relaxed and amazing, which is why I actually went to the gym even on a Sunday as well. I was like, hey, you know what should I do? You know, because I slept so much, I had so much food to eat, shukr, alhamdulillah. And then I was like, okay, yeah, what should I do next? So I was like, okay, it's better that I go and kind of burn a little extra calories.
That's nice.
Because I've had a lot of munching, over the weekend, chips and popcorns and whatnot, because I was watching a lot of films, which was great. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, imagine the very moment I woke up today, I actually realized that, it was Shiza's favorite weather, and that was something which I was looking forward to. And as soon as she walked in, ladies and gentlemen, I actually said it that, hey, what, do you feel like going uphill? And that's what she exactly kind of agreed to. But ladies and gentlemen, I think first things first, weather updates for everybody who's out there. Met Office has predicted rain and snowfall over the hills in most parts of the country from today. According to Met Office, rain and snow is expected in northeast Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa,
yes,
Islamabad,
Gilgit-Baltistan,
Punjab, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. Met Office said a westerly wave is affecting most parts of the country, and according to Met Office, rain and snow is expected again. Met Office said a westerly wave is affecting most central and upper parts of the country and likely to persist till Tuesday. So till tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to rain. If you guys want to catch a glimpse of how snowfall might look like, and if you want to make your TikTok videos, please make sure that you make your way towards the hills as well.
Right. And I think we should also sort of remind you all, not that you will forget this, but if you are planning to go out, and especially uphill, it's going to be slippery, and especially if it's going to snow, it's going to be so risky as well. So please be careful about that, or maybe delay your plans.
Exactly. But in addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, it's raining in Karachi as well. It's raining in Balochistan, different parts of Balochistan, KPK, and over here in Islamabad as well. But for all of those people who intend to travel from motorway, please make sure that you don't travel, because the motorway is being shut down for the traffic till the time the fog and smoke is going to settle down. I hope that rain will actually help that.
Yes.
Other than that, since it was Quaid-e-Azam's birth anniversary on the 25th of December, so we actually have a very good news to share. There's something which is being placed within the Pakistan Military Academy.
All right, so this is so stunning, first of all, to look at. While this is another, sort of a statue or sculpture of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, but this is something really unique. Why? Because it's made of...
It's made of fiberglass, ladies and gentlemen, and a
Super.
Sindhi sculptor named Fakiru made the sculpture of Quaid-e-Azam, and it's placed at the Pakistan Military Academy. Wow, that's wonderful. What a wonderful gift. Thank you very much, Fakiru, for doing that. It's huge.
And it's so huge.
Wow.
I really want to go there and see it. But you know what? Of course, in our national heroes, and especially the father of the nation, credits due where it's due. And also we have, every now and then, we sort of want to commemorate all the sacrifices and all the efforts that they did make into, providing us with this land as well. And speaking of this land, I think now it's our duty to sort of take care of the land along with the people in this land as well. You know where I'm directing this? I'm, of course, going towards health in this particular segment. That is, Shazad, because we talk about the coronavirus itself, and now you can also hear my throat too. My chest is so congested and so
Your
bad.
throat just gets scared every time you talk about coronavirus.
Yes, it does, to be honest. We have a new variant, unfortunately. There are cases reported in Pakistan as well, Omicron. We spoke about it last
Okay,
week
I
as
think
well.
I'm going to take over from here
Please
as
do
well. So
that.
we spoke about it. Obviously, those cases haven't really been confirmed, and it's because of the fact that their genomic study is going on. I think that's what we call it. Yes, we have a doctor guest over here with us. So I wanted a confirmation. So 6 in Sindh and somewhat around more than 12 in Balochistan. So we certainly do not have reports of the confirmation of the Omicron variant, but we still do have a report to share so that everybody can actually kind of look after their loved ones.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure that you follow all your SOPs. Here's a report on Omicron virus, and as soon as you're going to come back, we will talk about health awareness. Are we really aware of whether we are healthy or not? Shiza, are you?
I want to find out, actually.
Okay, we will find out, but after this small report. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The weather's awesome in Islamabad. We guys are enjoying Omicron variant. What's happening? Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's do it.
The COVID-19 virus is constantly evolving as it seeks to evade human immune responses and infect more people, but most of its evolutions are insignificant. Every now and then a variant of the disease emerges that warrants a closer look. Omicron is the latest such evolution, following Delta, Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. South Africa sequenced the Omicron strain. The variant has an unusually high number of mutations, but this in and of itself doesn't tell us much about its effects on the human body. Some countries have enacted travel bans from southern Africa. Early reports suggest that people infected with the Omicron variant have symptoms similar to those of the flu, fatigue, and head and body aches, whereas people with the Delta variant often report low oxygen levels, elevated pulse rates, and loss of smell and taste. Omicron has already hit Pakistan, and recently more than a dozen Omicron cases found in Balochistan. To counter the emerging Omicron threat, the NCOC approved booster dose administration for 3 categories, which include healthcare workers, people above 30 years, and immunocompromised people. Omicron variant is spreading fast across the globe, and the only protection against it is vaccination and basic SOPs, including wearing of face masks, social distancing, and hand washing should be ensured.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Please make sure that you follow all your SOPs. I think that's what the report said as well. Make sure that you wash your hands. Make sure that you wear your masks. Make sure you maintain your distance. Yeah, I think over here in Punjabi, the friendly slang for maintain your distance is, yeah, please chamino. So, please make sure that you tell that to people as well.
That too.
But other than that, how aware are we that whether we are healthy or not is something we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about SDGs, which are interrelated with health issues as well. And for a developing country, because obviously COVID took a toll onto the health sector as well. So what is the best strategy? Best strategy is to kind of make sure that you do not fall ill, or is it to get to a better hospital and make sure that you kind of get well soon and then come back, or have a lot of antibiotics? We've done shows about that as well. Doctors say that a lot of antibiotics are not going to help you as well. Vaccines, by the way, they're actually giving boosters in KP as well. So I think that's important. So the first leg of this booster vaccination has started, but it's obviously going to be for only those people who've actually got the first 2 shots of the vaccine as well. So without any further ado, I think this gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce, has contributed quite a lot to the education sector in the first place, because my nephew went to his hospital to kind of become a dentist, and now he's practicing in UK, alhamdulillah. He'll be coming back on the 29th anyways. But other than that, not just that, ladies and gentlemen, if, for instance, there was this one time when I actually asked my nephew that, hey, you know what, I need to get my filling done, I need something, this and that and whatnot. So this hospital amazed me in so many ways that, that the treatment was so affordable that every other day I would actually recommend somebody to go to this hospital. Who are we in conversation with is something I'll be sharing with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman happens to be the managing director of Islamabad Medical and Dental College. I wish that my nephew was here listening to this as well. And happens to be the managing director for Dr. Akbar Niazi Teaching Hospital. He is Mr. Yasir Khan Niazi. Hello, Dr. Saab. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jit. Thank you very much for having me on your show. I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful.
Well, it's our pleasure, definitely. But while Shazad was introducing the segment, he actually made a very interesting point. So I'm going to make that into a question to begin with. What do you think is a better health system, a preventive or a curative one?
Preventive.
Okay.
There's no question about it. The best healthcare system is the preventive one.
All right.
And best healthcare you can get is prevention.
Of course.
And it's the cheapest, it's the easiest, and it's the best. And country like Pakistan, where we have our healthcare system is not that developed, I think prevention is the best way to go forward with.
Okay.
So same is it is, and we saw that. We did timely decisions. Everybody took care of their SOPs with Corona, and today we are one of the few countries which has the lowest rate,
Yes.
as it prevails everywhere. So the prevention does work.
Exactly, that's wonderful. So, sir, now when we've actually kind of registered the fact that prevention is better than going to a hospital or any other healthcare system, why do you think that we have failed as a developing country to make sure that prevention percentages are quite higher, rather than, because what we have seen is that, you know, that the current healthcare system may be all over the world. COVID has taken its toll, may it be New York, may it be hospitals in UK, may it be hospitals anywhere all over the world. The system really did fail.
It did. In fact, the only silver lining which came out of this COVID thing is focus to healthcare again.
True.
And it was been in the past been very much not at the forefront of the policy making anywhere in the world, in developing as well as underdeveloped or developing countries, or even developed countries. So if we look for any silver lining in COVID is this, that the focus is back on healthcare and healthcare systems, because it put a lot of strain on it, and then we realized that how much we were lacking in terms of, especially in Pakistan, and we have to do a lot. So why didn't we, in terms of talking about prevention, we have to make it very basic part of our education system. It has to be installed. Prevention is something which comes with education, education, and education. Until and unless we make it part of our education system and curriculum of how to take care of ourselves, what is the right nutrition, starting with basic nutritional guidelines to the kids, what to eat right, what is the right thing to eat, what to do, washing hands, which is our cultural thing. You know, whether we take it as a Muslim country or a Pakistan, these all things, basic hygiene and all these stuff is our basic nature to us. So until and unless we make it part of our education system and education system, we will not have much success in prevention. In Pakistan, unfortunately, we let the disease take care, and we go to the hospital and ask the doctors to do miracles. And that's not where miracles do happen.
Right, that is true. And you're absolutely right. We wait for it to take over because we don't have the habit of probably an annual or biannual checkup as well. You and I advocate it so much, and I really hope, you know, it becomes a habit over here or becomes common, sort of. But now, sir, because you're a practitioner of this industry, I want to call it as well, while now you're also imparting your knowledge to a lot of children too, to a lot of students as well. In your personal opinion and observation over so many years, what do you think is the right direction for a developing country to
in terms of healthcare system?
Yeah, to improve their healthcare system? Is it should we point fingers at the government all the time? Is it only a private partnership going to, you know, take place? What should happen?
No, we can't blame the government for everything. You know, prevention, taking care of yourself, it's not government's job. It's every individual's job. Well, healthcare is considered a basic right.
Yes.
It's part of our constitution. It's considered that in our constitution, and we have enormous judgments from Supreme Courts, which have over and over again said that the health, like education, is a basic right of a citizen in Pakistan. So we have to work on. First of all, we have to look at some of the stats before we start talking about it.
Okay.
Pakistan is ranked 139 out of 167 countries when it comes to healthcare index by WHO. We have one of the recommended ratio, bed to population ratio is 5. Pakistan has only 0.6.
Okay.
So we don't have enough beds to take care of the patients. Another measure for healthcare system effectiveness is what we call healthcare worker density. It's the number of doctors, nurses, and medical technicians and paramedics per 1,000 people.
Right.
Recommended is 23. Pakistan is 12.
Okay.
So we lack a system. And we shouldn't, and we can't say that the government has to do everything. Private sector has to step up and contribute. And a true partnership needs to be developed. And for that, what we need is a very strong and clear policy.
Okay.
healthcare policy, where we define what is going to be the role of the public sector and what is going to be the role and private sector is going to be. I think the overall policy goal should be that we should develop an affordable, quality, standardized healthcare to the Pakistan.
Which you did, congratulations.
We try at our institution, and that is what our basic motto is. We do pride ourselves at Akbar Niazi Teaching Hospital that we seek to provide standardized quality healthcare at an affordable price.
I got a filling at 400 rupees.
Yes.
Is it still available?
Yes, it is. It is. And your basic consultation for dental is only 50 rupees.
Yeah.
And your basic consultation for medical side is 200 rupees.
True.
And
This
we
is
pride
amazing.
And I'm a
ourselves.
witness to that. Yeah.
This
So-
is actually amazing, yes.
And it's not a charity hospital, it's not a welfare, it is a private hospital. But the thing is, it's a value volume proposition which we work on. So that is what the government and public sector has to do.
Of course.
I think all the stakeholders of healthcare had to sit down on a table and define and determine a long-term roadmap of where this healthcare system has to go. We have to produce more doctors. Pakistan needs around 400,000 more doctors to get to the minimal level.
But
what
Dr. Saab,
WHO
you know what, this is
describes.
one of my questions actually, and we've actually wondered about it so much as well.
Yeah.
The number of doctors or graduates that pass out every year is a huge number. Where does the gap come in?
The thing
Especially
is, it's not-
doctors coming in from, say, Germany, Russia, China.
Yes,
Exactly.
even the
The
ones
thing is,
within-
the gap is huge. You know, what has happened is, in the last 10 years, we just saw an influx of medical colleges come up. So we think there are too many doctors being produced, but that's not true. We are graduating at the average of 17 to 18,000 doctors a year.
That's it.
And of those, we have a lot which go abroad also. You
Exactly.
talked about your nephew
Or
being in
who
England
waste
right
their
now.
seats.
Exactly. And we have some of them who do not even enter the industry. So in realistic terms, we are looking at 10 to 11,000 doctors entering into the industry in 2 words. And that also, the problem is that if we look at the distribution of these doctors or medical health resources, is very uneven in Pakistan. So you see a very heavy concentration on the urban centers, but when you come to the rural ones, you don't see that concentration happening. So the gap is still there. We need 25,000 to 30,000 doctors produced every year.
And I'm
to
going
get
to
that
back it
level.
up as well, sir. And the reason why I'm going to back it up is that, just a few days ago, we were actually talking about population, and Pakistan actually has a 1.9% of increase in population every single year. So obviously, we cannot put into context where it's only 10,000 doctors graduating, when, alhamdulillah, more than 100,000 people are getting born every single year. That's one point. But sir, there's one more point which I want to focus on today, and that is that, so our doctors are world renowned. People actually travel from abroad to come and study away in Pakistan,
Yes.
for example. I gave the example of my nephew as well. And they are doing particularly well. One of my brother-in-law happens to be the head of department in psychiatry in England. The other one is a cardiologist in US, and they're doing wonderful work. Now, what is it that is wrong within our healthcare system? This is something which we are unable to identify, rather than because Pakistan is over-legislated, so we talk about it, there are a lot of policies. But what is that one particular thing you think is wrong in our healthcare system? Because even then, we are at the 139 in the index out of 160 or 70.
You said it yourself. The
Yeah.
answer lies in your question. Healthcare system. We have excellent skills, doctors.
Yeah.
But doctors are not healthcare system.
All right.
System has to be a wholesome system.
True.
It has to start from basic rural health and go all the way to tertiary care hospitals. How we connect them, how we provide and how is the whole healthcare spectrum or continuum of healthcare, what we call, from prevention all the way to the treatment, is worked out, and it works. We can have very good doctors, we can have very good nurses, but that do not constitute a system. Everything has to work in itself. We need to have we do have the best doctors. I lived all my life in Middle East, and the best thing was there, the doctors were the representatives of Pakistan, and they were at the best position, and they were trusted, the most trusted resource Pakistan ever sent to the contribution to healthcare system of the world. Our doctors perform well where there is systems.
Yeah.
And when they come here, unfortunately, we don't give them a system. We don't have the technology. We don't have the skill, we don't have the backup system. We don't give them the support they need.
Or the right
They don't have the
administration.
paramedic or the nursing. We just had a session there on pediatrics in our college and discussion. The whole thing came down to that we had the best doctors, we had the best equipment. We didn't have the best nursing care, and we have to do this. And in healthcare, if one element is not working, the system does not deliver as it's expected to be delivered.
You're absolutely right. And to my shock as well, just recently I found out that there's only literally one child dermatologist over here in Islamabad. I don't know about the rest of the country. And when I say dermatologist, of course there are so many, but child dermatologist specifically, sorry for the slip of tongue, Shahzad, they require special care and special attention, of course, and not everything can be same for an adult or a child. So that is just one example. Now, coming back to you, Dr. Saab, when we talk about a public-private partnership, definitely this is not something where the government is going to make laws and implement. They're not going to force it on you that, oh, you have a private institution, this is what you have to do. There's a civic responsibility that has to come from within you and people like you to actually serve the nation. You do that, we understand, but just a small sort of a solution that comes to my mind, you tell me if it's possible. I actually want you to give out some practical solutions to wrap this segment up. When we talk about PHUs and similar units in rural areas, which are very far-flung and hardly monitored as well, I feel like the private hospitals near that area should actually come up and take the responsibility of, within these miles, the BHUs which fall in these miles, I'm going to take care of their resources, maybe the equipment, maybe the equipment, maybe I'm going to provide my nurses and doctors there from this hour to this hour. I don't know if it's possible. I do realize it's not at all commercial.
It is possible. And you're speaking, you just took the words out of my
Really?
mouth.
Okay.
Absolutely, this is the solution. When I talk about the continuum of healthcare, you can't do that without doing basic health units and these things. And private sector is ready and wants to contribute. The private sector does not need regulation, does not need laws. What it needs is standardization. And ability and government policy and direction. We have to create public-private partnership policy. Unfortunately, we have public-private partnership for every other segment other than healthcare. We have experimented with it, but we did not sustain and we did not go with it. So yes, you need it. So if a clear policy comes out, a guideline comes out, and standardization is set up, private sector has the capacity in Pakistan and has the appetite to invest in all these things.
Thank you very much for saying that. But I think that there's going to be a disagreement in between the private sector hospitals because when we talk about standardizing, I think there are a few who are actually beyond standards as well, and then there are a few who are still struggling to be at par with the standards. But we're not going to get into that discussion. Because,
that's a long debate.
Yeah, because we're very short on time. So, sir, very quickly before we wrap it up, first of all, thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you over here. And such amazing gentlemen who are actually making sure, because I am even witness, I bear this witness that I've seen people getting free treatments in the Akbar Khan Niazi Hospital as well. First of all, thank you very much for doing that. You're looking after the vicinity and people out there. But sir, how do we make sure that we know whether we are healthy or not? Just by sitting, so just give us some quick tips that, okay, you check these things, these vitals of yours, and then if you think that you're feeling fine, you're fine.
You don't have to check anything. Just check your lifestyle. Have a healthy lifestyle. Eat well, eat healthy, eat a lot of fruits, do a little bit of exercise on a daily basis. If something is wrong, get the early treatment in. And just a healthy lifestyle. And it will and you will feel it yourself. You will know that you're healthy. Little changes in your lifestyle will tell you, your body will tell you that I'm doing well and I'm enjoying my life.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, as we spoke about it early in the morning, that the weather's so fantastic that she's actually wanting to go uphill. But where should we actually be going in our winter vacations is something we'll be talking about, and that too with kids who really have a lot of plans today. So let's be in conversation with them. Don't go anywhere. And for a healthy lifestyle, you really need to go around, move to other places, kind of see the entire world. And that's kind of given us this opportunity. So as far as you have this opportunity with a lot of health, I think you're going to have a great time as well. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading on towards a
very short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Good morning. I happen to have the super amazing Shazad Khan. I am Shiza Hashmi. Today we are
Super amazing.
in love with the weather over here in the Twin Cities. But the good part is, I think everyone in Pakistan is sharing this kind of weather right now.
Yeah.
It's either raining or snowing, or it's either going to rain.
But
So-
you know what? It never feels okay if it's raining in Karachi, and it's because of the fact that Karachi actually becomes a swimming pool. You know, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
always pray that Allah Mia, please don't give us rain, because otherwise it's just going to be a headache for us as well. But other than that, I think all over the country everybody's enjoying it, and I think it is a perfect occasion to call for fritters and a cup of tea, or probably go out somewhere and then just enjoy the weather and just have fun.
You know what, for a change, Shazad, and I know
Pakoras,
this is going to
samosa,
be, this has been
chutney.
your recommendation as well. So for this winter vacation, sort of, not that we get vacation,
Yeah.
we force vacation onto ourselves as well, because the kind of job we do, we don't get vacation. For a change, because I do want to see different parts of Pakistan. I have been traveling because of a military background, but there are some that I haven't seen.
Yeah,
Imagine
she's been traveling because she's actually got a military background, but she's never been to Lahore. Imagine
You guys,
that.
I'm going to Lahore.
And she goes to Multan via that motorway, which takes you to Lahore as well, and she's still not been to Lahore. But guess what? You're going to Lahore.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So this winter vacation, whatever I have sort of saved for myself, I'm going to see Lahore. And you know why I'm excited now? Because I know for a fact that when I go there, inshallah, it's going to be raining. So my question is, how
It
is
should
Lahore in
rain.
rain?
We have a show to do, yeah.
I know. Anyways, do you think it's fun over there when it's raining? Because it's crowded, right? Lahore is such a fast-moving city.
Lahore, anything is fun. Yeah, the people are great, the ambience is great, the food is great. So wherever you go, there are people willing to help you. So it's great. And this is something which we are talking about, where to go, and that too in your winter vacations. Since obviously parents do not get those winter vacations, so it's going to be either two days on a weekend that that parents can actually accommodate kids. But we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by some amazing kids over here, alongside her or their maestro as well, the teacher herself as well. Won't be asking a lot of questions from the teachers because they still do not get winter vacations, but we're very lucky that we've
Unfortunate.
actually been joined by Miss Asfa Noreen. Hello ma'am, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very good. What about you?
Absolutely perfect, all the way from International School as well, and alongside Miss Asfa, we're very lucky that we've been joined by Huria Asif. Hello Huria, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum Assalam.
How are you?
Fine.
Wonderful, you didn't go to school today?
No,
But why are you wearing your uniform then?
because I'm here for the winter vacation. What are the best ways to spend the winter vacation?
Wow, that's wonderful. And I'm
That's
just going to
nice.
take a minute and then I'll come back to you to ask you as well alongside Huria. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to kind of differentiate, because I think Mohit over here is actually going to say a few different things and Huria will have different choices as well. So, we're very lucky that a fifth grader is over here and he is Mr. Mohit Saf Malik. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine.
How are your winter vacations going so far?
Yes, sir.
Still waking up early? What's the point? It's all right. So, okay, I think let's get started with Huria. So, Huria, what places do you want to go to in your winter vacations?
I want to go to Karachi and Lahore because my cousins live there.
Your cousins live there?
Do you
Wow.
like traveling?
Yes.
Is it always what you do in your vacations? Do you always go out of town?
No, I don't always go. I only go on some winter vacations.
On
Some?
win- Summer vacation. Yeah, because winter vacations aren't too long, right? It's only
Yes.
10 days and I don't know why it's
True.
only 10 days in the first
Should I tell you a very exciting part? It's not just 10 days in all of the country. So in
No, it
places
is not.
like
It's like much longer in many countries.
right
Yes, of course.
in Pakistan even. So in places
Yes.
like Murray or the northern
yes.
areas, I used to stay
They
there
get
for
their
2
longer
years.
vacations.
3
during
months
winters,
winter
So
three
they don't get
vacations.
summer vacations.
They don't
then?
get
Yeah.
summer vacations.
Yeah.
That's
2
right.
weeks max.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's fun. So, all right, while of course you have so many plans with your cousins and whatnot, do your parents tell you, okay, Huria, in these 2 weeks you still have to do your homework or
No,
study?
no, come on.
Are you going to do that?
No, because winter vacation is to relax
Ah,
and do
yes.
our own creative activities.
I like
Exactly.
it.
Wow, that's wonderful. So, we'll come back to what plans do you
Creative
have to,
activities.
kind of spend your winter vacations with your cousins. But let's go on to Mohit Baba. Mohit Baba, what are your plans?
My plans, I would rather go to my cousin's house or travel to Murray because my cousins also live there.
Oh,
So you're
wow.
one lucky guy. Your
I wish
cousins
my
live in
cousins
Murray.
lived in Murray.
Even if they did, I don't think they're going to open their doors for us. But, but yes, going to Murray in this weather is just so hard because at times there's no hot tap water.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of other problems as well. We're having some serious issues with the gas as well these days. You know,
True.
isn't it better to be just at home and within your own comfort zone where you're like, okay, mama, I'm not getting out of the quilt. Whatever you want, bring me here. I'm watching a film on my iPad, and that's it pretty much. Do you do that?
Well, not exactly, but
I don't think
maybe
kids
yes,
care
I do it a
about
lot.
Really?
Maybe.
Okay, I think once you're going to grow up, you might probably feel like it.
Yes.
But other than that, while we were young, we actually even thought about cousins. So, Huria, what are your plans with your cousins? What are you going to do? And which cousin do you like the most?
Oh,
Oh, they're watching.
That's
They're
going
all
to be
watching.
I like my hala's daughter.
Khala's
Oh,
daughter's your
that's
cousin.
cute.
Wow,
Is she your best friend?
Yes.
That's sweet. Okay, so what are you guys going to do?
We're gonna do a lot of arts and crafts things.
Oh, wow. So, you're going to stay
interesting.
indoors, right?
Yes.
No snow fighting, no nothing, no going anywhere. You're
Mohit's
just
gonna do that,
Hey,
huh?
Dad, you know, we just want to stick back home and make some posters. Well, that's wonderful. Moving
Now
on to
I
you,
wanna-
Miss Aswa.
Right,
Yeah.
I was
I think it's about time that we kind of engage you as well, even though we
Yes.
know that you're not going to get any winter vacation.
yes.
But what we're going to ask you is,
Yes.
I mean, this is something Shiza came up with originally, but since I have the opportunity in my hands, I'm going to ask her, and that is that, you know, I think your kids might feel at times that, kya, mama, aap,
Very right.
you know, what's the problem? Just because of you, we cannot go for winter vacations.
That's exactly what I'm facing at home, because my child, like she says, that like I'm the most ignored one because of your job. And everybody, even though I'm like given with the winter vacations, but even then I'm not like able to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So what I do most probably is like, because my daughter has got like, my other children are quite elder, so they just like group up and like manage themselves. But then again, I feel like
Left
yes,
out?
I'm not given like much of time, and even I feel myself left out.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, but why? You know,
Obviously.
and this is a question which I've always had in my head, and that is that, you know, when the kids are not showing up to school, what are the teachers doing in the school?
Yeah, what do you guys do? Oh, the
I think
secret's
that's
going
a
to
very
be out
important
today.
question.
That's
And if
right.
all of those people who are school owners today listen to this
Listen
one
to the
closely,
fact.
yes.
I think, to be very honest, there's like the things could be done before also, but I think it's becoming a fashion now to keep them working, because like, you know, in the private sector mostly we feel like that every day counts.
Yeah.
And we are like being like, you know, being like paid, of course, they have to do something. So we just like arrange
busy.
ourselves and manage ourselves in a way that we are waiting for summer break or winter break especially, in which like we can create most of the things which are required for the second term. Although it has like, it's not like totally being free, but of course we are designing ourselves to be, you know,
Prepared.
to be tackled in that case.
But Ms. Asfa, I really hope so,
Yeah.
and let's see, maybe in a year or so, the system might change, because in this pandemic, we did learn that a lot of things
Definitely.
can be accomplished
That
from,
was-
from home, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
So if
that
you're going to
is-
prepare a timetable, a curriculum, you can do all that
exactly,
at home?
exactly. Because you have just like reminded me, one of the persons who was saying like in many, like after a few years, I think we might not be needing the real teachers within the classrooms.
Teachers won't go out of
Teachers won't go out in
business.
that case, of course, they will never go, but they will be staying back maybe, or maybe doing something like we met a COVID challenge, and that was like, you know, 1.5 years we have been fighting against that in our way. But definitely this can happen, this can be managed, but you know, face-to-face things, I mean, preparing the classrooms, making the environment, preparing things like in which like we can, most of the things, you know, we are very blessed this year, alhamdulillah, the schools are open. And this is a big gap, you know. Children have forgotten so many things which they were like so used to. Even they have like started, like they have stopped talking well, they have stopped doing well, they have like less of hands-on activities.
Even adults for that matter.
Of course,
You can't
I mean,
blame
they're like
children.
more of like, you know, iPod people. So that thing we need to like, you know, of course like IT is very important, these things are very important, but on the other hand, teaching them face to face and like preparing them emotionally, bringing their things like coming in contact is something very magical, you know.
Holistic education. Yeah.
So,
I think
education
that's
is-
true,
I
and I'm
agree
going to
with
agree
you.
to it. And I have something
Yeah.
to relate to it as well, and that is that, you know, so while my daughter was actually
Yeah.
attending all the online classes as well, you know, so there were days when she would actually come up for help and be like, hey, you know,
Yes.
would you mind reminding me
Yes.
how to write bay or alif
Bay,
and
yes,
all of
huh.
that. And I was like, sure, why not? So just today I was just making notes, and I was just so thankful that I remember how to write. You know,
Wow.
because I mean,
You
in all of
know,
this time, we might not have even written because we
have
were on our
not written
laptops and
even,
whatnot.
exactly,
Which is
exactly.
why I'm going to move on to Huria and you, Mohit Baba, and that is that, you know, so while you guys Because obviously you guys have been on vacations for a longer period of time, right? It's not that you guys needed these vacations, but since it was
Yeah.
too cold outside and the
Yeah.
kids were getting ill, so the schools, they were very thoughtful and they were like, hey, you know what, we should give you guys a break. So how was it while you were learning, and that too amidst COVID, when everything was shut down and you had to attend your online classes? Do you think that you learned more, or do you think that you guys had to catch up with a lot more when you went back to school?
We did have to catch up a lot when we get back to school, but we also did learn a lot about computers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
that is
what is it
exactly.
that you kind of had to learn again? What was that thing? Was it writing? Was it reading? Was it some particular subject? What was it?
It was probably like writing.
It was writing. Wow. Wonderful. What about you, Mohan?
Probably it was science or writing or sometimes even reading because it's like hard to read.
So did you really study while the schools were shut because of COVID?
Well, yes.
Yeah, you gave it a try. I think that's wonderful. So
But
now
you know
coming
what?
back
But
to
like-
yeah. So
but
now
like-
coming back to where we should be going. So okay, me and Shiza will have recommendations for you guys, and the rest obviously your parents will have to decide. I think I wouldn't recommend going to Hunza or anywhere else because the roads are going to be really
blocked.
very dangerous. I do not want anybody
have a
to
perfect
take any risk.
recommendation.
You know, and I've seen videos of people's car falling off the cliffs as well. So please make sure that you don't do that. You know, don't put your family and that too in the risk light as well. But other than that, I think where you can go is probably Murray is the closest, safest. We have a motorway, even though Swat and Gilgit and everywhere motorways do go. But you really need to be prepared for that. You need to be a good driver. Other than that, I would recommend, I think Murray is just fine. Just go to Murray and come back. That's it.
हाँ, Shahzad कह रहे हैं, बस
Just
go
see
to
the
my-
snow and then come back.
But you know, you actually talked about a very important point. So Allah ji, please keep everyone safe, whoever is
Ameen.
traveling, whoever is going to, well, anywhere outside the city as well. So you guys, first of all, have you been to, and ma'am, ask for you even, have you been to South Punjab, my favorite?
I
Yeah.
have been to everywhere to Pakistan because my father was in army, so of
Oh.
course
High
all our
five.
stations.
Did you go to Lahore?
Yes,
Wow.
I have been in Lahore for all life. This is the first time I've been in Islamabad, and being in Islamabad is the toughest thing to do, of course.
Come on, don't
yes,
do
of course, a
that.
Lahori
Oh.
cannot settle in
You know,
Islamabad.
that is a common
Oh, yeah.
It's
sentiment.
very hard for a Lahori to be settled in Islamabad.
All right. But,
To be
but
very
South
honest.
Punjab kids, it's Multan, it's Rahim
beautiful.
Yar
Yeah.
Khan.
It's
Have you guys
beautiful.
been there?
It's beautiful.
No?
Sir, I've been at Multan, but I just like passed by it.
All right. It's
Okay.
wonderful. You
It's
know, they speak
beautiful
Saraiki,
place.
they have a wonderful
Yeah,
language,
they have a
and then they have
culture.
so
The
on as
language
well.
is beautiful.
Yeah, hik, do, thra,
Yes.
char, panch, chhe, sat, aat, naut,
Whatever they
Do
say, like
kapcha.
it looks sweet.
Right. So you guys, maybe today when you go back, you can do your own research, right?
Yes.
Now that you both are so good with your gadgets as well, maybe you can see some touristy places in
Yes.
South Punjab
Yeah.
or in Sindh maybe, because the weather won't be so cold and you'll have
Yes.
so many options. It's just an idea, even if you like
and
it.
you won't fall ill as well, and I think that's great. But other than that, you know, so how many times do you go to your parents and be like, you know, Dad, let's go to Dubai, or let's go to England, or let's go to USA,
Dubai
or,
is just-
or are you of the sort where you're going to say, hey, you know what, I want to explore Pakistan?
My father did have a plan, and still does have a plan that going to Dubai one day,
Yeah.
like in the summers. I don't know when, if even if it's like true or
But
not.
Dubai in summers is going to be really
Oh,
hot.
it's
I
terrible.
think this is the perfect time to go to Dubai
Yes.
because even other than that, you know, you go to Dubai, you're not going to be roaming around on the streets, right? You know, so it's everything's air conditioned. It's wonderful. What do you look forward to watching in or seeing in Dubai?
Well,
water park?
I would like to see that garden dome there was. I guess
Wow, yeah.
there's also this giant park. My brother always says he wants to see and he wants to go on it.
Wow, that's wonderful. What about you, Ria?
I like to go to Murray because there's a lot of snow and we can play with snow with our friends and cousins.
Do you guys do snow fights?
Yes, sometimes when we go to Murray.
And do you know that over here in Istanbul we have a dino world? Have you guys
That's
been there?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, have you
that's
guys been there?
beautiful. Yes.
Have you share your experience so that if there are other kids
There
out
were
there?
a lot of dinosaurs there, especially the scary ones.
Really?
Yes, I saw a lot of dinosaurs that were in the movie that is called Jurassic Park.
Yeah. And there are a few rides as well, right?
Yes,
Which rides do they have?
like roller coaster, I think so, and the Ferris
I
wheel.
didn't know that.
Was it scary?
Yes, it
Really?
was.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let me tell you. So, if you want to have a day trip, you want to take your kids for an interesting, fun
Informative.
trip, you know, all you need to do is that you need to kind of drive past Manal and Highland,
Yes.
and that's where the Dino World is. And you know, they serve a lot of good food as well. They have dinosaurs, with lights and sound effects and everything, and it's just fantastic to kind of see them.
Absolutely, and I was so excited while this was being constructed. I was so happy about the fact that now kids like you will have an option to go out. Otherwise, Islamabad, or I mean, a lot of places just had food to offer for
Yes.
recreation. So I'm really excited about this. Which reminds me of a very small story. This was last week that China actually discovered a very well intact embryo of a dinosaur,
Yes.
within an egg.
Yes.
Now the point, I really hate to say this, you know, after so many years, I have stopped believing in these fossils and, you know, all these things coming up. But what if it's true? Are you guys excited?
No, it is true, yeah, obviously.
Of
because
course,
there
Shazad,
are
it's true, but
rib cages of dinosaurs coming out
Yes.
from.
after so many years, I mean, but yes, go on. Do you like dinosaurs or such?
I don't
things?
like dinosaurs, yeah.
I like dinosaurs, but I don't like the ones that are very big and scary.
Yeah, well, you know, the only reason why you guys like dinosaurs is because they don't exist anymore. You know?
Already the Chinese have constructed. Of course, they
We
can
never
make
know.
anything.
Also because there are a lot of movies on dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And
So-
all of them are destructive. है ना?
Most of them.
Yeah, I mean, only if you can pet them, you know, and they can be nice and playful. I think dinosaurs is a great idea. But other than that, I am certainly not in favor of dinosaurs. I want a world free of dinosaurs, and I think there's a reason why Allah has actually made
Haan,
sure
Shazad, you
that
have it.
dinosaurs are not going to stay here.
Don't worry, you have that world. All right, now towards the end, I want you both to sort of, you know, give us some ideas that a lot of students like you can do in their winter vacations. Because I really did like your ideas that you already have. Do you want to begin, Mohit?
What?
Do you want to begin with the ideas? This is your camera. Go ahead. Let them know what you can do.
Like in the winters, you can go on trips with your families, and you can also do a lot of other things like you can read, you can buy pairs of books and read. You can do science projects and experiments. You can also stay fit. Like in the winters, you get a little bit lazy, but so you gotta go to the gym and all.
Or you
and
play
do it.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or you play cricket,
That's
do some
dangerous.
outdoor activity.
Well, yes, I do go to a karate club like daily,
Wow.
except Sundays.
Wow, that's wonderful. And make sure that you do not land punches onto your class fellows as well.
That's we do
important.
have to land punches.
Hey, you
on
know
our
what? I
class
learned a new trick. And the other one's like, Mohit, what have you done to me? Well, it's good, great idea. What about you, Huriyavite?
I like to do arts and I also like to do science experiments.
Oh,
Wow,
like
that's
what?
wonderful.
Share one with us.
Like there are a lot of chemicals, we mix them, and there are a lot of things you can make from them.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and this
Super.
time around, I think what we can do is that we can actually ask kids to do social experiments as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that within their own houses, if they see that somebody's gossiping, tell them, hey, you know what, this is bad.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a
or
good
probably do
idea.
moral policing
Yes.
of any elderly or any younger ones as well. I think that will be
That is
great.
different,
And
yes.
you guys will be great as well. And make sure that everybody prays 5 times a day.
Yes.
Wonderful. I think that's
Yes.
important. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very
for
much.
joining us,
Thank
for
you
bringing
very
these
much.
such wonderful, amazing kids over here to our program
Thank
as
you
well
very
with
much.
such brilliant ideas. You guys are great. We want to wish you best of luck for your future endeavors as well, and for everybody who's out there. So my idea of vacation is, if you have time, please make sure that you spend the time with your family, because, ladies and gentlemen, the days are not going to come back again.
Absolutely, and in my case right now, I think I stand by you, Shazad. Whenever I do have time, the first thing I think is spending it with my family, and the second thing I think is sleeping it off. So, well, that's that. But we really hope and pray all of you are going to be safe out there. For the one traveling, stay safe. Traveling, stay safe
Yeah.
as well. Do not, well, of course, use the motorway. If you do, call 130 beforehand to see the situation so that you can be safe out there. Till the next time, take care. Make sure to write your suggestions, feedback, questions, everything on the social media pages with the name of.
Well, this morning on your television screens, right here it is.
Yes, and the repeat of this show you will be able to catch at
5 past midnight. Till the next time, look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning. Take care.
Thank you.